All right, hello my friends. Welcome to the Black Diamond Call for Monday, February 27th, 2017. John Lavinia with you, as I always am, here on the Black Diamond each Monday. It's always a pleasure to be here with everybody. I see so many of our friends joining us live from around the world. I see Wendy and Anthony and Sandra and Chris. Everybody, welcome as always. If you're joining us live, and if, of course, if you're listening to this recorded on the podcast, feel free to join us live each Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern U.S. time for more thrilling episodes of the Black Diamond Call. You hear them live right here. So on DALivecall.com, of course, DALivecall.com is where you can get information and the full schedule of all the calls. This will be our last Black Diamond Call before the Ascend event, which I will now announce just in case you haven't heard. If you're maybe brand new here inside the Digital Altitude community, we've got this thing called Ascend that we do once to twice per year. The first ever delivery of Ascend is happening next week, and I will be on a plane headed to Maui to co-host that event with Michael Force and the rest of the leadership team and corporate staff. And so on that note, I do have an announcement here for everyone who is registered for Hawaii. The corporate staff just wanted to let you know that rooms for the 11th have been opened up at the hotel. So if you've been looking for a room for they had some openings, first come, first serve. If you want to add a night, you can for as long as they are available. Just email the events team at events@digitalaltitude.co. So that's an email, events@digitalaltitude.co, and they will get you sorted out. So having said that, the only other announcement that I've got for you right now is that a lot of stuff has been going on behind the scenes here with Digital Altitude, including over $1 million worth of commissions paid out over the last, oh my goodness, just few days. So things are on fire, my friends. Very exciting time to be here in DA. If you have any questions about your commissions, you can contact the billing department at billing@digitalaltitude.co. Okay, so just remember CO, not .com. And then, of course, there is also our Marketing Mastery event coming up in April 19th, and that's going to be the in Orlando. We're going to be in Orlando, Florida, at the Disney World resort area right there. You can get all the details on that in your Digital Altitude members site. Right there, you log in, and you'll find the big red button. You can also go to digitalaltitude.co/MME, as in Marketing Mastery Event, and that will get you all straightened out. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and check one more time. Do we have Jason on the line with us? Jason, are you there? No. Well, we did have one of our top earners here scheduled to be here tonight. Not sure what happened. Hopefully Jason's okay. And as it looks right now, we are going to have a conversation, me and you, which is also fine. We've done that for the last couple weeks. And I can tell you, oh, Antoinette's saying, I feel a John rant coming. I love it. Okay. Antoinette, thank you. Thank you for the acknowledgement. Thank you for the validation. As you know, Antoinette and everyone, and Wendy too, thank you. I see Wendy there in the chat roll. As you know, this whole Black Diamond Call, which we've been hosting here for as long as, well, when I got invited to come here to Digital Altitude and set up this whole training call series, which we all get to experience at DALivecall.com, and through our iTunes podcast and Google Play and Stitcher and SoundCloud and all the other platforms that I've set up. When I was invited to come here and do this, it was based on the recommendation of people who know me and my history, and that I've been hosting calls like this for about 15 years. And it's a passion of mine. And here's what I wanted to, since we're not going to have our scheduled guest speaker tonight, here's what I wanted to cover with everybody. And it sort of is a play on what Ash Ali was talking about this morning. If you caught our wake-up call, you got to hear Ash Ali talking about several principles, enumerating several principles of highly successful people, successful entrepreneurs. And these are things that you can read about in books like Think and Grow Rich and other books on leadership. And one of my favorites, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Okay. But one of the things that I was thinking about as I was considering what we could discuss tonight here on the Black Diamond Call is having a passion for your work. And when you do so, here's the thing. When you do so, it doesn't feel like you're working. Can anyone relate to that? You can put that in the chat roll. Have you ever done something where you feel like this isn't even work, and you actually you lose track of time? Yes, Kevin says yes. Randall, yes. Like you lose track of time. It's like almost like a hobby. Many people saying yes. Yes, clearly. Okay. So this is the kind of experience that people have when they have perhaps a hobby. Right now, a hobby typically costs you money. Okay. In fact, the lesson that I got back in the day about the difference between a hobbyist and a professional, and this had to do with golf, by the way. It was, well, a hobbyist or an amateur pays to play golf. A professional gets paid to play golf. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. But is the professional not enjoying it? Like now that I have to get paid, now that I'm getting paid to do this, does that make it less enjoyable? Well, maybe. Maybe if the pressure's on. Maybe if it's like, wow, I don't know, if I'm going to win the tournament, I'm only going to make, $100,000 instead of, $1 million, and maybe I won't get the endorsements and blah, blah, blah. And maybe losing track of why they got into golf in the first place. Yeah, I suppose that could be, I'm not a golfer, okay, so I can't tell you what goes through the minds of golfers. I can tell you what went through my mind when I was experimenting with golf. What went through my mind was, this sucks. I suck at this, and I'm not that masochistic that I'm going to try and beat my best score. And I mean, just the discipline of this. You know what? I'm going to enjoy the trees now. And and I lived in Arizona, and I guess I didn't have the patience. I see Lance typing in the chat roll there. I guess I just didn't have the patience for golf. Okay. Now, yeah, it seems cool, but it's a discipline too. It's a discipline. Now, here's the big question. Does the fact that let's say that I love golf. Let's say that I decided to become good at golf, and I just loved it so much that I'm going to go ahead and put in some discipline on this. I'm going to actually become competent, perhaps even to a level of a professional, that I would no longer pay to get on the golf course. People would pay me to get on the golf course because I'm just such a damn spectacle to watch. Hit this little ball hundreds of yards away into a tiny little hole and do that 18 times. And yes, I'm just that good at this terribly masochistic event that I'm going to do that for a living. Now, let's say that I had an aptitude and an interest and competence in that area to the degree that I put in a good amount of discipline. Like I got my stroke down to the point where, man, I never slice, I never hook. That ball is exactly where I intend that ball to be every time. Okay, great. Does that mean that I am no longer enjoying it? Because this discipline thing, I don't know how you all grew up, but I grew up and discipline was kind of something that was sort of used against me. Like, this kid needs more discipline. Any of you ever heard that? Like it was somehow a bad thing. Like it's the opposite of enthusiasm. It's the opposite of fun. Yeah, Lance, you've heard that, right? The opposite of fun. Yes, Shamika. So discipline is, ooh, we don't like discipline. I don't want to be disciplined, right? Because that somehow means that I was maybe doing something wrong, and now I need to be corrected. And sure, correction is good. Correction is excellent. Discipline is great. How do you think I became successful in sales? By being undisciplined? No. How do you think I became successful in anything, weightlifting or any of the things that I do? Discipline. Discipline. Discipline is not the enemy of enthusiasm. That's the thing right there, and I had to get that. Okay, so now let's say I've put in all this discipline, and I've gotten really good at this activity. Does that mean I enjoy it less? No, my friends, that means I can enjoy it more. Because here's the thing. When we get to a level of competence where we can take delight in our work and not introvert on it, okay, here's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about introversion versus extroversion. Who do you think has more fun at any activity? Whether we're talking about business, golf, riding motorcycles, playing, croquet, shooting bows and arrows, right? Who do you think has more fun? The person who's introverted wondering, am I doing it right? I got to try and do it better. Maybe I need more discipline, or I don't know. I hope I do it right. I hope I don't make a mistake. Is that person having more fun, or is the person who's extroverted having more fun? Here's the person who says, you know what, I'm good. I'm not here. I'm not like just being egotistical, but I know. After all, I've got the discipline. I know, right? And my stats prove that I know. And my goodness, I love this. I love this. This is great, right? So who's having more fun? The person with the discipline, the person who is complete enough with themselves that they know, hey, I'm fine, right? Now they can put their attention on what's outside of them. Now they can be there in the moment, right? Experiencing all the beauty of the golf course, not stressing out about the golf ball and their swing and all this other stuff. This is something I actually went through when some of you know I'm a biker. I ride a Harley, and when I first learned to ride, I actually told the person who was teaching me, I want to learn how to ride this machine to the point where I'm completely extroverted, like it's a part of me. Like I don't have to think about the machine, just like I don't have to think about running my mouth or moving my hand, right? Same for, if any of you have never been on two wheels, it's a little bit different than driving a car, but still a car, you can understand that you're inside the car. And when you first started to learn how to drive your car, which is something you really wanted to do, this is something you took delight in. This is mobility. This is good. I'm going to be able to get around. I got freedom now, man. I can go leave the house, and I can, go to the store and go hang out with my friends. Man, I'm getting a car. I am so cool, right? So this is something you delighted in. And at first, when you were learning how to operate this machine, you were rather introverted about the whole thing. How hard do I press this pedal? Oh, hold on a second. Oh, I turn the wheel how much? And how often should I look in the mirrors? Like, do I time it? Do I look is it like every 5 seconds or something? Or now when I change lanes, how do I know? I heard about these things called blind spots. That sounds very troublesome. I need to worry about that. So is that introverted or extroverted? That is introverted. That is you putting your attention on what's happening inside the car. Inside the car. How hard should I press the pedal? How hard should I turn the steering wheel? How often should I look in the mirror? That is introversion. Now, some time has passed and you've learned how to press the pedals, turn the wheels, and look at mirrors. You've learned all that to the point where you don't even have to think about it anymore. Now where is your attention? Outside the car. Outside the car, where it belongs. Attention outside the car, through the windshield, looking at all the other moving objects and not moving objects in relation to you and the movement of your car. You see how different that is? Now you can't do that if you don't have discipline. Your work, in this case we're relating it to riding motorcycles, driving cars, playing golf, whatever, okay? Your work becomes much more arduous if you're wondering, am I doing it right? If you're introverting on it, if you're not sure, if you're doubtful, if you're experiencing concern. The way to do it right is to know that you're doing it right. And the way to know that you're doing it right is to have been delighted enough in the process to actually discipline yourself to do it right. To be interested in enough that you developed an aptitude for it. Why didn't I get good at golf? Just wasn't that interested. And therefore didn't have really an aptitude for it. Why did I get good at riding motorcycles? Well, I was interested. And I had an aptitude for it. Other people could give a damn about motorcycles. They don't ride motorcycles. They play golf. Okay, fine. Right? But here's the thing. We've all chosen to be in sales and marketing. We've all chosen to dedicate some time because we're interested, you see, we're interested. We've dedicated some time to becoming competent in this area of sales and marketing. And yes, that's a discipline. That's a discipline. And so many people, especially when they're new, and rightly so, ask questions like, am I doing it right? I'm not sure. I need help. I don't know. Okay, I got it. There's a learning process. That's cool. And the people who seem to hang up in this process and don't quite make their mark in the industry and in their business and in the marketplace, these are people who never quite get to the point where they are perceiving the delight that could be theirs with their work. There is something really awesome about hitting a hole-in-one. I've personally not done it, but golfers do stuff like that. Or being under par with your score, right? That means that you're doing very well. Okay, great. Or winning the game, okay? However you can win that game. I mean, I suppose if you could hit one ball and get it in all 18 holes with one stroke, that no one could ever beat you. So, or like an 18-stroke game, I guess would be the ultimate golfer. So I don't know that anyone's ever done that. So you'll never be done with that pursuit. That's why I call it masochistic. You'll never be done. Well, that's cool, right? If you like that sort of thing. The point is that you took enough delight in it to put into the discipline, and at that point you could see outside of just yourself at all these other features and distinctions, little distinctions that you pick up. Just like when you're looking outside of your car, you can see the person who's about to walk across the street because your attention is extroverted. You're not introverting. You're not hoping and trying to do it right. Now you can put your attention where it belongs, which is on the other things that are happening around you. Okay? And you would have never gotten to that point if you didn't take delight in driving. So I keep saying this word, taking delight in, this phrase, taking delight in. This is actually the origin. Some of you know I'm an author, and I really like the use of words, the correct use of words. And there's this word called diligence. Diligence, and this kind of like right alongside other words like discipline and industry, like being industrious, right? Being diligent, having discipline. Okay. Well, diligence comes from the Latin root diligere, which means to take delight in. To take delight in. So you see this diligence, which means yes, I'm getting the discipline, and I'm industrious, and I'm applying myself diligently to my work, right? The reason we do that is because we have found something about this work that we can take delight in. Now, for some people, it's all about the money, especially at the outset. Hey, man, show me a business opportunity. I need to make some money, okay? Like, I don't know about any of this other stuff. I just need to make some money. Okay, go make some money. For other people, the view expands. It expands into what effect am I having in the world right now at my job? What, I get to file the papers? Yeah, I guess I'm doing a good job. Am I changing anybody's life? I'm looking to do something more significant. I'm here to have like an effect, to benefit people, do something. Okay, great. So that's a bit more significant, I think. And you still make the money. That's fine. Okay. And for some people, they go to some pretty lofty extremes with this stuff where it's like, you know what, I just look at the suffering that's going on in corporate America, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help resolve that, starting with me. I'm a valid target. Great. Well, John, would you like some help? Well, yeah, sure, I would. Well, great. Let's go sign up in this thing, and let's go become successful. And then from there, you'll be qualified to teach others. Okay? Now, I'm not setting myself up as the ideal, although I've made some progress in this area, and yeah, here I am acting as a coach and hosting these calls and all the kind of stuff that we do, and other people who contribute to this community. They don't, it's not like, here's some special bonus or something that you get because you're contributing to the community. No, it's something people do of their own accord because it's bigger than just the money. You see that? But we would never get to that place if we weren't diligent with our work, and then take delight in the real purpose underlying all of this. Now, I know I'm on a bit of a philosophical rant here, which I think is fine, okay, because this is truly about people. And yes, starting with me, I'm a people too, right? I count, and you count. And knowing that, we can then say, well, what can I do to take delight in my work? What is it that I love more about sales and marketing, top tier, digital altitude, right? Pick the thing you love the most and start to put in some discipline on that thing, and it doesn't even feel like work anymore. That's the point that I'm hoping to make here with all of you, is that you can have a completely different experience. Even if you're one day in the business and you feel like you're learning a new language because you are, and you don't even know what words like or acronyms like CPC or CPA or LTV or any of these other terms that you're going to be learning about as you go through the steps, and you're not even sure about what do you mean traffic to websites? Traffic is what I sit in when I'm going to work. Traffic sucks. And now these people are like all happy about traffic. Why would they be happy about traffic? Like you don't have any idea what we're talking about yet. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Find your why. Take delight in that as the purpose for you putting some discipline in, and then you will find that this becomes an adventure. This is an adventure. Look at all these awesome problems that I get to solve en route to my dream lifestyle. It's beautiful. And guess what? I can tell you, my friends, because I've been around for a few years, okay? Here's what I can tell you, is that things that might seem like big issues, like big problems to solve now, they're going to be, you don't even think about them anymore. Just like how hard should I press the brake pedal as I'm learning to drive the car? I don't even think about it anymore, okay? That's what seemingly large problems now are going to seem like to you later. But it only happens with the discipline. And the discipline only happens if you're diligent. And you're not going to be diligent if you're not focused on your why and all the benefits that can be yours and others by the fruits of your labor. Okay? And by the way, it doesn't have to be laborious. A lot of times people think, being industrious or being diligent means like arduous, like hard work. No. No, if you want hard work, you signed up for the wrong thing. Thinking, yeah, you're going to think, decision making, which I know right there. Thinking and decision making, that is hard work. What did Henry Ford say? Henry Ford said, thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason why so few people engage in it. That's a bit critical of him, but also I think he's stating the obvious when he says that. Yes, a lot of people would rather not think. Please, corporation, please, boss, please do my thinking for me. I'm too lazy, or I'm just not that self-determined. I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and do whatever you tell me to do. So anyway, I just got a text here from Jason Stone, and I said that we were going to have Jason Stone out on this call, so I'm going to tell him to dial in now. Hold on a second, my friends. We're in for a treat. All right. All right, cool. So this is great. As announced last week, we're having our final Black Diamond call before the Ascend event. So we are going to take next week off because, in case some of you don't know, I'm not only the training call master here. I'm also going to be co-hosting the event, MC duties, and all this with Michael and the gang. So if any of you are looking to meet people like Jason and myself, and of course Michael Forrest, and other personalities you've met on these calls, if you're looking to meet us in person, that is your first opportunity to do that if this is going to be your first event. Otherwise, definitely meet us in Orlando. So Antoinette is thanking me for the talk. You're welcome, Antoinette. I'm going to go ahead and interrupt my flow so we can bring Jason Stone out here. Jason, are you with us yet? Okay, we'll give Jason another minute, and we will have him out here in just a bit. So yeah, these are the ideas that cross my mind when I think about, hey, John, out of all the things you could be doing with your time, why do you do this? And in my case, well, I just think about how damn dissatisfied I was with that life of concession, as I like to call it, just a life of concession. Like, yeah, this is just same old, same old. Just going to work my job. Get my 3 pay cuts a year because I think I'm making too much money. Oh, there's limits to everything. I mean, after all, my coworkers, they're in the same spot as me. What do I think? I'm special? I'm going to rise above this mediocrity? No, this is most people, I'm just like most people. No. Think about Thomas Edison. And then we're going to check for Jason again here in just a second. Think about Thomas Edison, who hung out in New Jersey, same place I grew up. And here's a guy who was dissatisfied with conditions as they were. Here's this hot oil lamps and, candles and stuff. And he's like, this sucks. I want a light bulb. What's that? I don't know. I'm just going to figure it out, though. And he's like the most successful inventor of all time, right? And the light bulb took more than 10,000 efforts with a staff of scientists, all working on it every day. 10,000 so-called failures to find how to make a light bulb. And then finally he got it. And now guess what? It's not dark in my room. Thank you, Tom. And we don't use incandescent lights too much anymore. Compact fluorescent, even that's on its way out. LED is the future, my friends, in case you're wondering. And it's awesome, by the way. But yeah, thanks, Tom, for helping me out. I don't have to go buy so many candles. So do we have Jason Stone on the line with us here? Not yet. Okay. So I will continue. Why don't we do this? I'm going to go ahead and open up the call for just a bit while we're waiting on Jason. This is very different. Usually we're extremely orderly on this call. Everything is very orderly. And right now, even though it's not pre-planned, it's orderly. You know what I mean? It's like we don't go into like random mode here. So now we're in random mode. If you would like to jump out here while we're waiting on Jason Stone, feel free to do so. And then we can go ahead and have you come out here for just a second while we're waiting on Jason. Anybody like to speak, you can hit *6 on your phone, and we can just have a few words, and then we're going to bring Jason Stone out here. And you can go ahead and do that. *6 will unmute your line. And let's see here. Okay, anybody? Hold on. Oh, I think I hear Jason. Jason Stone, are you with us? No, I don't hear Jason. Not yet, anyway. So, Jason, if you can hit *6 on your phone, if you're dialed in, make sure you're unmuted. Make sure you're not muted, Jason.
Come on, guys. Can you hear me now?
Oh, there we are, Jason Stone, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, man?
Last minute, man. I just checked my Skype messages for some reason and totally forgot about this last minute, but I guess it was fate.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're forgiven, and we're going to have a great call nonetheless. I just warmed up your crowd for you. Here's the thing that I was talking about, Jason, but you can go in any direction, obviously, with this that you want to go, and I'm very interested to hear, as is everyone, about your, what drives you, what causes you to be a top earner in the things you do, what causes you to have millions of followers on Instagram. That's, people marvel at stuff like that. I do. I don't have millions of followers on Instagram. But what we've been talking about up to this point is taking delight in our work, like really seeing the purpose of it, and it doesn't even feel like work anymore. It's just what we do, and we love it. And, for me, that's sales and marketing. That is just like, why am I here? I'm here to do that. I'm here to empower people. I'm here to enlighten people to opportunity that can be theirs and all the benefits of that. So that's where we've been so far on this call. But I'm going to turn it over to you. And yeah, this is our last Black Diamond call before Ascend, so it's a very special night. So Jason, one of our top earners, is here with us. Jason Stone, ladies and gentlemen. Jason, take it away.
Okay, so the question was, what drives me, right? What drives me?
Yeah, or fill in the blank with any question you like. This is your show.
Well, I just do it for, to live a life of freedom, to not have a boss. There's many pillars to success. Obviously, money being the first one, but without being healthy, or having good relationships with your friends or family, being happy, living stress-free. At the end of the day, to me, success is helping others and making an impact in other people's lives. Because if you could do that, you're going to be remembered. You're going to leave a legacy of helping change people's lives for the better. It's just I do it for my family pretty much. Go on vacations, to pick up and go whenever we want, wherever we want. It's just we buy our freedom, and that's what I do it for. I put on all this work and all this time and all this effort and into doing all this social media stuff and being on my computer, pretty much 24/7. my laptop, not location freedom is pretty much anywhere. I can work from a laptop, which is awesome. I don't know where I was going with this, but
that's all right. That's all right. I mean, you're accomplishing something.
Impacting other people's lives, helping other people, making enough money to where you're not brought down by the mundane tasks of life, where you could, just have the life that you want to live with tons of freedom in it, and that's what it's for, being free and happy.
Awesome. So, Jason, we've got a lot of new marketers here, and I'm sure some of them are wondering, like any tips, any ideas from a guy who at this point is at the top of your game, and of course that's what the Black Diamond Call is all about, is showcasing tips and ideas from people who made it to the top. So I know last time you were on one of our live calls here in the community, you were talking with Simon Pish on the Rise about your Instagram strategies. I don't know if you want to focus on like some of the best practices with that, or if you want to just get into.
Yeah, I mean, I just had this past weekend. I had a really good couple days with DA. I pushed it really hard on Instagram, and I know a lot of people struggle to get leads, or wonder where they're coming from, and wonder how the top guys are getting their leads. Well, I mean, it's no secret. I tell everybody, I just did a little Facebook video that 100% of my traffic comes from influencer marketing on Instagram. I don't do Facebook ads. I don't do PPC, Google. Very little comes from my blog, maybe one every couple of days, but I just put in 130, almost 140 people over the weekend. Instagram is, the weekend days are the top days for traffic on Instagram, especially Sunday. And I spent quite a bit of money, a few $1,000s. I haven't really calculated it. I have to log in my PayPal, but for 130 members I put in there, I try to keep the price per member below the $50 mark. So if I'm paying an influencer for shout-outs, I judge their account by how many $1 trials I can put in, anywhere from $20 to $50. Once it goes over that $50 mark, that's when that account, that shot that I do the shout-out on, I cut it off. I don't use it anymore. I started actually growing my personal account. I would always use influencers to grow the Millionaire Mentor account, which is 2.3 million followers. For the last 2 years, I've paid influencers to shout that account out. I started doing my personal account a lot more to grow that, and my conversion rates have gone up significantly. And it's because people can put a face to the name. They see a real person. And on Millionaire Mentor, it's mostly quotes. I do put myself out there a little bit. But when someone goes to that page, they don't really know who it is behind the page. They don't know it's me when they first, unless they do some digging. So my personal page is actually working better. So I'm going to focus on that 100% now and growing my personal page. It's up to about 80,000 followers. And the last week, we've been growing about a couple thousand a day. And I've been investing heavily into it. Maybe $4 or $5 grand in the last week or so. Let me do a calculator. It's just $4 grand divided by 160 new members. So $4 grand that I maybe spent, maybe $5. I'm getting members at around 30, 40 at the most, maybe $50 if I take into account that I was doing shout-outs with the Millionaire Mentor page. I could do a shout-out for myself on my own page and put in, on an average, 3 members for DA. So I could do that probably three shout-outs a day on my own page and put about 15 members in. And that's free traffic. That's the magic of Instagram, is once you grow your page, you could give your cell phone shout-outs. You do the shout-outs on your own page. And, just like Google and, blogs, that's free traffic. And when you're growing an Instagram page with free traffic strategies or, growing organically followers every day, those followers, there's a price on every follower that I get. I put $1 per follower on my Instagram page. So every follower to me is worth $1 that I should be making in the long run. So my Millionaire Mentor page grows 2,000 followers a day. That makes me $2,000 a day, pretty much. That's kind of like what I figured. And that's just from, putting in the work over the last 2 years of getting to be able to get that organic growth. No one's going to come out the gate and grow a page organically. You have to put in the work. I put in hours and hours. I worked 24/7 on the page when I first started. So, a lot of people get into this Instagram game figuring they're going to start, and they're going to see ROI in the beginning. No, you're not going to see an ROI for a year or 6 months or a year. Just the same way I invested into my page when I first started, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. That has definitely paid me back times 100. So it is a good investment. Instagram is the hottest social media platform there is right now. It's going to hit 1 billion users. Brands are really jumping on to Instagram. Brands, I think 50% of brands are on there now. It's expected to get 70% of brands. Another thing is users on Instagram, they're taking action. It's a very visual platform. So people are taking action and they're clicking links. And if you put a link in your bio, they're clicking on that link. I drive with my own link in my bio on Millionaire Mentor, 2,000 clicks a day. I mean, that's crazy. It's a culmination of me and my own shout-outs, but I'm also paying influencers every day. A few $100 a day sometimes. So for the newbies in digital altitude, still struggling with Facebook and the Facebook ads and getting shut down, forget that. I teach the Instagram. You got to get on Instagram. You got to figure out what's working. Your ROI, you're not going to see it for 3 months in DA. You're going to put in the money now, just like in Facebook ads, if you're funding Facebook ads, but you really can't run Facebook ads for DA unless you have like an ebook or a webinar that you're running leads to. But that's a good way to build your list. Besides that, you can't expect to be paid back or have an ROI instantly when running these influencer shout-outs because, the digital altitude funnel, it takes a good month sometimes 2 months, sometimes 3 months. So you got to be patient. The money you put in now, you're not going to see back for another 3 months. Just figure that. But once you, like Michael Force would say, once you start filling that bucket, the whole bucket has holes, I guess you got to keep putting water in the bucket or else it's going to all drain out the holes. So you got to be constantly feeding the bucket full of water, just like you got to be constantly doing shout-outs every day. What else we got?
Well, let me ask you something, Jason. For the new person who maybe just got started, they just put in, maybe they came in full Apex, right? And so now they're considering what's the best way for me to start building momentum with building my list. And I hear that this guy Jason Stone does Instagram and he's buying shout outs, and now he's already been at it for years. Is this something that like how long does it take to monetize? You're mentioning a month or more with the Digital Altitude offer, but you were doing Instagram before Digital Altitude existed. So how were you monetizing, and how fast were you able to build it when you were, before you were monetizing with Digital Altitude?
You said how fast was I able to monetize?
Yeah. In other words, like were you building an Instagram following just for the purpose of being an Instagram rock star or something? Like to what end?
Well, I originally got into Instagram just to provide value. I didn't really know that I was going to make money from it. I got in for the reasons because I just wanted to share my story, start providing some value, grow an audience. I didn't really know what I was going to do with this audience once I grew it. Once it started growing, it was just cool to have followers back in the day. I'm like, yeah, I want a lot of followers. I don't know why. But, it definitely paid off. These followers was definitely well worth the money of investing. But
and are we talking about the Millionaire Mentor page?
yeah, definitely Millionaire Mentor page.
Okay, so you were the Millionaire Mentor before you even got into really marketing.
Yeah, I'm never a marketer. I had a business, Treadstone Performance. I had no idea what affiliate marketing was 2 years ago. One of my friends just, he was paying, I was growing my Instagram account because I knew when you have an audience, you have these eyeballs on your page, you can pretty much market any business you want to them. I can market any business I want ever, and, I get pitched so many opportunities to invest in this business, or, you want equity in my business, I'll share equity, just because I have the eyeball. I have 2 million eyeballs. Whenever I want, I can put those eyeballs on any product I want forever, for the rest of my life, as long as Instagram's around. And it's still a popular platform, which I know it will be. So I got into it. I started monetizing by selling shout-outs to these brands. And one of my friends was buying shout-outs for me. He's like, I'll give you this special link. This special link, I'm not going to pay you for shout-outs, but I'm going to share my revenue with you. I was like, cool, I'll put your special link in my bio. He's like, it's called an affiliate link. I'm like, oh, cool. We'll try it out. See how much money. So I tried it out, and, I was able to drive thousands of leads to his landing page in an hour. Like, literally. In 1 hour time of post. And that's what's so special about Instagram. You cannot do that on Facebook. You can't drive 1,000 leads in 1 hour. It's impossible. You can't if you scale up an ad campaign that much. I mean, that's just an insane amount of traffic that's going on Instagram right now. That influencers, not even me, like other influencers, they're able. Some of these influencers get paid tens of thousands of dollars to post about a Bic razor or fucking Dove soap. And, blows my mind, like the amount of money influencers get paid to represent a brand or endorse it. And the same way, I've kind of become a social media influencer, by putting myself out there more. That's what you got to do. You got to put yourself out. Now, Millionaire Mentor is like a theme page. It started as a theme page. I actually hid behind that page. I didn't want nobody to know who I was when I started that page because of the incident where, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but my house was robbed because of posting on social media. And I deleted all my Facebook account. I deleted my Instagram account. I had a personal Instagram account. I had 10,000 followers back then. I thought it was so cool. I'm like, social media just got my house robbed because it showed the pictures of me out of town. So then a couple weeks later, I decided to get back on social media, Instagram, and hide behind this account. Well, sooner or later, it had to come out. I had all these followers. It was like, I had to be proud of it. I was proud of all this work that I put in. I'm going to tell people who I am, who's running this account. So I recommend that, if someone wants to start an Instagram account, you can buy your way in to a big account, like a themed account. Themed accounts are something that people, these kids on Instagram started as vision boards. They have nature ones, travel, food, fashion, motivation, fitness, car accounts. These are all types of themed accounts that these kids started in high school, that they were growing these huge followings. Instagram started as a kid app, people in high school, all these kids in middle school and high school. And these high school kids are growing millions of followers because people use it, Instagram as a vision board. I know high school kids netting $1 million a year by owning these themed accounts. I know a kid that owns 20 million in fitness accounts, and they're all themed. And he makes $1 million a year selling shout-outs on Instagram. It's crazy.
Mm. Is there still an opportunity? Let's say that somebody just got started today and they're thinking, hey, this Instagram looks cool. Is it too late?
No, definitely not too late, because I see new accounts popping up every day. And I see a new account go viral, or these you found a new way, a new hack to growth, a growth hack that, we're doing this way to grow. These accounts are growing thousands and thousands of followers a day. Brand new accounts are still growing, even if they're doing the exact same thing that I'm doing, because some new account can get on and, a user just downloads Instagram, a new user, they're going to follow the first one they see, a motivation account. Oh, cool, this guy's awesome motivation account. It could be the exact same thing that I'm doing, but they're going to follow him until I get my content out in front of that person's eyeballs. It's all about distributing your content. You can have the best content in the world, but if you can't distribute it, it means nothing. So it's all about pushing that content out and getting it in front of eyeballs. There's so many ways to grow on Instagram. There's all these different ways people are coming up with. The new way to grow is with this app called Telegram. There's like these engagement groups that if you start a brand new account, you can just get. It's called. I don't know if somehow I can distribute a link to somebody. I don't know. Maybe. I guess I created these 6 steps. The 6 steps to get started with digital entrepreneurship. And I just kind of put it out there on social media. Hey, email me if you guys want the 6 steps. There's a few, like my Facebook page. I'm just going to go through it. I got it in front of me. So, one of the steps is make an Instagram account, get into my Facebook group. I have a Dropbox that I share all my content with that I use for doing my shout-outs. Give a tutorial on how to make a meme with Fonto, the app. Another step is automation software. Another step is the Telegram groups, teaches you how to, approach people in a Telegram group. You can pay some of these kids, and I call them kids because they hustle. These kids hustle 24/7 with Instagram, and they're putting in a lot of work because they know the value of what followers are worth. And they're worth a lot of money. Followers equals eyeballs equals impressions equals you can advertise. Every follower has an email address. I have 2.3 million followers. That's like my secondary email list. I got 2.3 million emails on my list. You know how much you can make with 2.3 emails on the email list? $2.3 million a month. So those, I still have yet to gather those emails, but eventually I will get those emails. And, at the end of the day, the more emails, the money's in your list. The rule of thumb is what? $1 per email per month. On the low end, let's say 50 cents per email per month. I grew my list to 380,000 email subscribers, 100% from Instagram within the last 2 years. No, about a year and a half. And, people tell me that a list that size is unheard of. And I'm like, really? I know people with bigger lists, but marketers that have been doing this for 5, even 10 years don't even have a list that big. I know marketers that have been doing it for 10 years that don't have a list as big as mine. I've been doing it for a year and a half. And it's all from Instagram.
Right.
So anyways, if you guys want to get the 6 steps, just send me an email, jason@millmentor.com. Millmentor.com is the website. Jason is my name, Jason, at millmentor.com.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So, you've got some handouts. That's great. Why don't we do this, Jason? We can open it up for some Q&A if people want to ask you a couple questions. That'd be cool. Do you like to do that?
Definitely.
Let's do that. So, guys, actually, we're still in the self-muting mode right now, so we have to get Jason on. And so if you'd like to come out here, let's definitely share the time, please. And I will say, because we've got new members here as well, let's not get into like tech support questions and things like that. I can't fix your tech support problems. Okay. So we do have a help desk. You just click on help, and they're there to help with that sort of thing. But if you've got questions for Jason or myself on the things that we've been talking about tonight, we sort of had a split topic call. Feel free to hit *6 on your phone and or hit the mute button on your FCC app, and you'll be able to come out here live and ask any questions of Jason personally. And who's our first caller? *6 will unmute your line if you'd like to speak.
Hi, John. I have a question.
Eli
Okay, I think I heard either Randall or Eli. Which one?
Well, I'm here, Randall.
Hey, Randall, we'll go to you first. Randall, you're live on the air.
All right, thank you. Jason, what you mentioned members. When you said you had members, are you talking about a trial member or like a $1 trial, $37 trial?
Yeah.
What kind of member are you referring to?
Yeah, when I mentioned member, but I know I shouldn't have said member. Trial buyer, a $1 trial buyer. I try to keep that below $50. If you're getting them for the $20 to $30 range, I would double down on that. I would triple down on that. If you're getting $50, that's when I start to slow down, and $50 is the cutoff limit for me on Instagram.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jason.
Because at the end of the day, I have tags that go back when I first started with Digital LC about, I think, 9 months ago. So I have tags that if you just take the dollar amount made on that tag, let's say, I have maybe $10,000 tag, how you tag different links. If you divide the two numbers by how many members, that's where I get the members name, because in Digital Altitude, the back end, it says either leads or members. So if you take those two numbers, divide them, I get, it comes out to about $100, sometimes $150 per member. So if you're buying a member, a lead, or a $1 trial at $50, at the long run, it's going to turn into $150. So you triple your money at $50. That's a member's 8 months old. Now members that are a few months old might only be at 100, so you're doubling your money. And then if you go back only a month, you're still going to be at that $30, $50. You got to wait. You wait a good 3 months to where you can actually see the profit from what you're doing.
Right. Now, in that case, of course, you're talking about total lifetime value. So you're basing this on full Apex. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, if you go in the back office, so if you go to my marketing, then my campaigns, and then you go to my conversions. So I have a tag. Let's see. The tag is, this is an email tag that I have. 96,000 was the tier 1 commissions. 96,000 in my calculator. And then divided by members, which is a column right to the left, 700 members. That equals $137 per member. And that was from a tag that one of my emails. So, if I keep my spend at below $50 per member, it's going to end up as $137 per member. So, I'm almost tripling my money. And this is kind of like how CPA works, cost per acquisition. You want to acquire that customer at less than $50. Now, I've done ads, and I've ran ads a lot of times, and sometimes I pay $75 per member. In the long run, you're still going to make money on that. Even if you're paying $75, but it's not going to be as much. You're still double your money, but I like to triple my money. So that $50 mark is kind of like where I like to be.
Absolutely. All right. Just wanted to clarify that for everybody. The lines are open, and I think we had Eli up next. Eli, if you're there.
Hi, John. How are you? I'm enjoying this call a lot. This is amazing. Hey, John. Hey, Jason. How are you? I don't know if you remember me. We actually met, and we're this industry is amazing because it feels like you're in a movie sometimes. We were in Vegas at the event, and we ended up all getting invited over to a mansion, right? And they had a mansion party. I met you over there, and we talked about some of the stuff that we had done in the past with Facebook that was very similar to what you've done with Instagram. Remember that conversation?
The Facebook fan page, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I love the stuff that you're doing right now because that's like our number 2 step, right? Knowing your numbers, making sure that you have enough profits at the end of whatever you're doing. Everybody thinks that all these things that Michael talks about is just like theory or up in the air, and it's like this is you putting it into practice, right? Exactly. How much you're gonna spend to actually make sure that you double and triple your money. So that's awesome. My question for you, though, was, I have a lot of new people coming through the system. I'm a coach here, S1 coach. And a lot of them are wanting to start, an Instagram page. And, looking at what you've been able to do with, like sort of like a company name or branding yourself under, Millionaire Mentor, but at the same time building your personal page now. If you have somebody new, what would you tell them? Would you tell them, start with a company name first, and people follow,
I would,
names better, or your name better?
I kind of go back and forth with this. I always tell people, make a theme page and then make a personal page, because your themed page is going to grow a little bit better, a little bit more than someone following. Like, when someone comes to your page and they're brand new to your page and they see a picture of you, they don't really know you. So they might not follow as much as if they came to your page and they saw, like, a cool logo with the word motivation and inspiration and education. I think that the theme page is going to grow a little bit easier and faster. So I always tell people to make 2 pages. You have your theme page, which is your business page, which is my Millionaire Mentor, and then I have my personal page, Jason Stone. And I can use my bigger page to shout out my personal page. But a lot of people, they don't really have time to do that, or they just want to start with 1 page. You could take, for instance, I helped Jesse sing out in the beginning when he started on Instagram. He's killing it now. He freaking took over my #1 spot, bastard. Yeah, he attributes it to Instagram. He attributes taking my #1 spot to Instagram, because those are just, he kills with SEO, and he has free traffic with all his blog and SEO, and now he just added another tool to his arsenal, which is Instagram, and he's spent a lot of money to grow his account and blow it up, and it's definitely paying off for him, and he's getting that much more leads from Instagram and his SEO strategy. So he's killing on both aspects, and I need to step up my SEO game and my blog game as well. So if you're just starting out, you could look at his page. It's what is his, Millionaire? Also Manny Hernandez. I kind of helped him out in the beginning. Manny Hernandez, I think he has Millionaire Wisdom. So it's kind of like he puts his face in the profile. I'm thinking he has a logo in the profile. So I would say, if you just want to start out with 1 page, get a logo. Get a nice logo. Don't start the page out as your name. You got to kind of make it both. You're going to make it like a theme page. Don't put your face in the logo box, because people aren't going to follow as much. It's just how it is. When they see your face, they don't know you. They might not want to follow you. But if you have a cool logo, and you put your page with a lot of nice, creative, motivational pics, very vibrant. You got these HD pictures, and you can kind of throw your personal lifestyle into that. So, if you're traveling the world, you take cool pictures. Put some quotes over your photos. That's what you got to do. That's the main thing. Put yourself in pictures. Put nice quotes over your pictures, and write nice captions. You got to think of Instagram as like your mini blog. And that's what I did back in the day when I was growing up, Mentor. Something would happen throughout my day. I would come back and I would just write about it, and I would write about it in the caption. I went on a rant one time about the customer's not always right. Random stuff like that. So you make it both your personal and business page at the same time.
Very good. Thank you.
And also, you're the Facebook guy, so the same stuff that you're putting on Instagram, you got to make a fan page. I actually have a business fan page on Instagram, and I just created my personal fan page. And I also have a really big Facebook group, which I've been growing for a while. So as leaders, it's all about duplication, having people, teaching people how you do it. And if you can do that, if you can teach someone else how you just did it, you know, at the end of the day, when we start doing, you know, teaching all these strategies for driving traffic, traffic is the lifeblood of any business. And if you teach someone else how to drive traffic, you know, they're on your team. They're going to learn from you. You know, that's your downline. That's you sponsor them. And at the end of the day, you want to duplicate your success to as many people as you can in this type of industry as an affiliate marketer. Not only do you want to teach people in other businesses, like I teach businesses how to drive traffic to their business, legit businesses, and I also teach people how to drive traffic. So this type of business is twofold. You know, you're helping other businesses with their, whether it be fitness business or e-commerce business or Shopify, how to set up an opt-in box. You know, this type of industry that we're in, you're not only helping other people learn how to drive traffic, but you're also helping businesses. So you got to look at it both ways. Where I was going with this, the same content that you put out on Instagram, just upload to your Facebook. I started doing that when I think a little bit before I talked to you in Vegas, and I was at like maybe 80,000 fans on Facebook. So your fan page will grow organically by you just posting content. And what we try to do on the Millionaire Mentor fan page on Facebook is post every couple hours. I just told my guy I want to start posting every single hour, on the hour, around the clock, 24/7. I want to post going up on Facebook. And on Facebook, you can reschedule all your posts. So once you're creating all this content, I have designers that create hundreds of content at a time. I used to do it all myself. It used to take me days and days to create content. But now I pay designers. I have designers whip up thousands of images with quotes. I tell my designer, hey, use all my personal pictures. Here's a bunch of quotes I made up, or just pick your own. Just make some up. You don't have to, Google has tons of quotes. So it's all about putting out content on a daily basis. Same stuff you got to do on Instagram, you don't do on Facebook. And Facebook is just another channel for you to get your message out, for you to put your affiliate links out. I have affiliate links that I put out on my Facebook page. I have affiliate links for 99 Designs. I have affiliate links for Aweber. I have affiliate links for Instagram automation. I have affiliate links for the InstaPro class. I have affiliate links for Shopify. And I put these out on Facebook on a daily basis. And all these revenue streams, they're making money. Because I'm an affiliate marketer, and you can be an affiliate marketer not only for DA, but you can do it for tons of other offers as well. That's the magic of when you grow your email list, and the magic of when you grow an audience. That's the key, is growing an audience. So just wanted to put that out there as well.
Well, and I don't mean to hog the conversation with questions, but that just brought me a couple of other questions that came up to mind from what you just said. Well, one, I always taught people, when you first start, right, concentrate on one particular free, marketing technique, and then maybe one paid, but concentrate on one or two max. And when you just mentioned,
I
doing
fully
Instagram.
agree with you 100%.
Okay. Just so in case somebody's new, that they don't have to, I got to go and try to figure out all the stuff in Facebook and all the stuff in Instagram.
Let's stress themselves out. I mean, you concentrate on one platform first, grow an audience there. I mean, that's kind of what I did too. I grew on Instagram first, and then I started pushing my people to Snapchat. I grew my Snapchat. I pushed people to Snapchat for a good 6 to 8 months, and then I started pushing people to my Facebook group, and then I started pushing people from each platform to another platform. What's left? I got to do YouTube. I got to start a YouTube channel, which I have not done yet. I need to push all my channels now. I have all these audiences on different channels. I'm going to push them all to YouTube. That's kind of like what Tai Lopez is doing. Like he's killing it. Like I don't know if you guys are in the affiliate marketing game and you're not following Tai Lopez, one of the biggest affiliate marketers in the world. See what he's doing. He grew his Instagram account 1 million followers in a few months. It's crazy by giving away shit. Yeah, it cost him a lot of money to grow that big. He's giving away stuff, and he tells people from each platform. He grew his YouTube first. That's how he got big. He started on YouTube with all his ads, and then he started pushing his YouTube audience to Snapchat or pushing it to Instagram. So you concentrate on one first.
Do you ever use apps like IF what is it, IFTTN? IFTTT? If this, then that?
Then that. I've messed with it a couple of times. I never really got into it too much.
Okay.
What's a good if then that for this type of industry? You tell us.
Well, I was just thinking, like, just in case you wanted to build a Facebook page but not be active over there, right? Just put content for the meantime from the stuff that you're doing on Instagram, and then it just fills it up. And then when you're ready, when you build up your audience big enough, then you have a lot of content over there. When you bring them over there, it's not there and starting from scratch.
Yeah. But what you're saying that you could set up an if then and that every post that you put to Instagram will automatically go to Facebook?
Exactly. I know that it won't be seen as much. Facebook doesn't like it as much for actually showing it to a lot of the people. But that wasn't the point. It was more of it automatically has content over there when you're at 2 million people on Instagram and you want to build your Facebook page. You're not starting from scratch. That's all.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was my idea. That's what I was asking, if you thought that would be a good idea or not.
Anything can help automate your process and save you time is a good idea.
Okay. Sorry, John. I took over the call. I didn't mean to.
Yep, no worries. Well, we'll hear you on Thursday on the wake-up call. Thanks, Eli.
That's fine. Thank you.
There he is, Eli. So anybody else with a question for Jason before we wrap up tonight?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, Antoinette.
Hey, Jason. Hey, John.
Hello.
So, 2 questions for you real quick, Jason. I came through Christy because I absolutely love Christy. But
you absolutely love what?
Christy.
Christy. Oh, my wife.
Yeah, her. But with putting a link on her page like that, one, does it does it bring in a lot of people for you? And 2, for your Facebook page, do you have a Facebook page specifically for DA members to kind of learn under you?
Okay, so her link, I just kind of told her to put the page I made a page like Christy link, but I just did it as a redirect. So it just redirects to my page. So I'm not able to track it, which I probably should be tracking it and make a new funnel for paidlikechristy.com. And by the way, guys, I started that trend, the paid like, that kind of went viral, which is pretty cool. I'm not complaining, but we need to change it up. We need to make something new. But anyways, yeah, I'm not tracking the Paid Like Christy link. I should be. So the other one was, do I have a Facebook page just for digital altitude? Well, I did make a Facebook page called the Millionaire Mentor Insiders that originally was just for digital altitude. So only people that really knew about it were people that did in digital altitude that were getting my emails. But I'd kind of just open it up to everybody and entrepreneurs. And any results, anything that I do in digital altitude, I will put in that group. So if you guys email me for the 6 steps, you'll have a link to my Facebook group there. And, I put up live videos sometimes, or I put my results. I'm probably going to put up the results from this weekend. I'm going to go look to see how much I spent in PayPal exactly, and to see how much my CPA was per $1 lead. So I'll put those results there as well.
Okay,
so yeah,
cool.
There's a Facebook page. I haven't made, maybe I'll make one for like the thing is, like, if I segment all my groups, like, oh, this one's only for my Apex members, this one's for my Rise members, I don't need to segment people. Like, I'm still going to give out the same information to everybody that I would my Apex guys, that I would someone not even in digital altitude. So everything that I put out there is for everybody. I don't really want to exclude anybody. So I just keep one big group going, and it works well.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for that.
No problem.
Awesome. Thank you, Antoinette. And I think we have one other guy who was attempting to get out there, and we'll wrap up with you. Who was that? One other person? No? Okay. I did see somebody else's line open up, and now they're gone. So, hey, Jason, thank you for participating. I know we had a little bit of disorder here at the beginning, but here you are. I'm looking forward to seeing you and everyone and who's joining us in Maui in just a week. I will see everybody there. Jason, any closing comments from you tonight?
Let me look through my presentation, see if I can add any final value. If you guys ever think about getting to Instagram and you want to kind of jump start it, you can ask around to buy an Instagram account. It does help to jump start, to get those eyeballs, pay for the eyeballs, the followers. I do not recommend any type of paid follower. If someone's trying to sell you followers, do not do it. There's no such thing as being able to pay for followers. You can't do it. There's so many robots and out there, so many fake accounts of people just trying to sell you followers that they say they're active, but they're not. You can spot a fake follower by if it's following a lot of people, but doesn't have that much activity, and you just see it's following tons of people. That type of follower is not going to engage with you. The best way to grow your Instagram account is with real influencer shout-outs. We have a program called Gentleman's Mafia. I own that Instagram page, Gentleman's Mafia. There's gentlemansmafia.com where you kind of can get into our chat room that I'm in every single day. A lot of marketers have just joined into Gentleman's Mafia, join it. A lot of times they join at level 6 because they can get very cheap shout-outs from my page. My partner, Daily Dose, he's got 1 million followers, and a few other of our smaller luxury pages. So Gentleman's Mafia is a way to, if you want to be able to reach me at any time in our private messaging group, you join Gentleman's Mafia. What else? I don't do solo ads. I tried solo ads back in the day, and pretty much, the ROI on solo ads is a lot more than paying for Instagram influencers for shout-outs. So that's what I endorse 100% is Instagram influencer shout-outs. The right way to grow your page. Not only are you growing your page with followers that you can market to at another time, you're growing your page by driving traffic to the link in your bio. And when you get to success, it means there'll be a Dropbox of all the creatives that I do use that are available to pretty much anybody. I first just try to only make it available to my Digital Altitude team, but share the wealth. When you give back times 10, times 100. So there's like 600-700 people have access to my Dropbox folder right now. Uses all the videos and all the creative. So get out there with a camera, take some lifestyle shots of yourself. Do some exciting things in your life. Take some pictures, put some quotes on it. If you don't have any exciting pictures to put quotes on, I get all my pictures. Most of my designers, I get this question a lot. Where do you get all your pictures from? I get them from Instagram. Screenshot. There's so many Instagram pages that have dope HD pictures that a lot of times don't mind. Sometimes if you take a photographer's photo, the photographer finds out, they might say you take it down or report it to Instagram, but it rarely happens. If you're going to use a photographer's photo, tag them, hey, photo by this guy. Besides that, convert your Instagram page to a business profile because you'll be able to get insights. You'll be able to look at your stats. You can see how many impressions you get, profile views, your reach, see how many website clicks you get, and how many email clicks you get, which is good. You can convert to a business profile. You hook it to your Facebook fan page. Your fan page should be the same name as your Instagram page. Just looking at my stats real quick. 16,000 website clicks in 1 week. 421 email clicks. That's from 9 million Metro Instagram account. So those are pretty, crazy stats, clicks. 16,000 clicks in a week is a lot. But with that said, I don't know if anybody else has any questions out there. I guess we'll be signing off. And,
that's right. Thank you, Jason. And of course, everybody can go into the podcast and the On the Rise replays, and you can search for Jason Stone, and where he did explain more about his Instagram strategy. This was about 3 or 4 months ago when he was out here doing that on a Wednesday night. So, Jason, thanks again, my friend. Glad you were here with everybody. Looking forward to seeing you and your wife next week in Maui, and then, of course, again in Orlando for our Marketing Mastery event. So thank you for being here, sir.
I just had a peak sale come through. Woohoo!
Yay! Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. We will see you
guys,
back here tomorrow morning.
See you soon.
We will see you back here tomorrow morning on the Wake Up Call with a new Tuesday morning host. So I'm excited. In the meantime, make it a great day. You absolutely deserve it, and bye for now.